Hey guys, this is Giant Man, and today we're going to be talking about the Beach Boys, All Summer Long. Released on July 13th, 1964, this album just turned 60 years old not too long ago. And although I'm a little late, I figured why not talk about it to celebrate its anniversary. Back in 1964, the Beach Boys were slowly making their way to the top, not just in terms of popularity, but also in terms of creativity. They had done like 5 albums at this point since 1962, and they were slowly developing their sound that they would become known for. And this was also at the height of Beatlemania and the British invasion, where you would have not just the Beatles, but many other British rock groups coming over to America and showing us Americans how to do rock music better than most American rock groups at that time. So this was a really trying time, not just for the Beach Boys, but for just about every other American rock group at that time also. One person that knew this, though, was Brian Wilson. And he knew that the Beach Boys had to change. They had to evolve with the times if they wanted to even have a chance against the Beatles. So Brian Wilson, going into this album, really upped the ante on not just the songs, but the whole production. He quoted that this album was a really big turnaround, not just for him, but for the whole group. So having that desire to change, to evolve, to get around, you could say, I think that perfectly segues into side one, track number one, I Get Around. And it's one of those Beach Boys songs where it's like, do I really have to say anything? Because even if you're not a Beach Boys fan, you've heard of this song. And it has that classic opening, that super catchy chorus. The arrangement, even now, it really makes the song stand out as being a number one hit, which it would ultimately become, spoiler alert. On the surface, this song could be just perceived as a guy trying to be hip and cool with his friends and just going out and having a fun time. But if you listen to the lyrics, especially the opening lyrics, I'm getting bugged driving up and down the same old strip, it really sort of shows that that's how the Beach Boys felt, in particular Brian Wilson at this time. They wanted to do more than just the same old surf songs and car songs, and they really wanted to do more in terms of lyrics, in terms of musical arrangements, to really elevate their popularity. This song really just captures not just the mood of the band at this time, but also the tone of the whole album. Track number two, title song, All Summer Long. This song is so much fun to listen to. I love the xylophone opening. And again, super catchy lyrics. The vocal harmonies are great. And it's just a song about having fun all summer long. And as simple as that sounds, what really makes the song stand out is, in my opinion anyway, the music. And as well as the vocal arrangement, the whole thing is just such an easy, fun listen. Track number three is Hushabye, and it's one of the best covers that they ever did, in my opinion anyway. And it opens with Brian doing this incredible falsetto with the rest of the guys joining in. And it's a really soft piano ballad. And it's just, even if they did this one a cappella, I think it still would have sounded just as great. And I also love the way Mike sings during his part. It's one of those examples that show that even if he wasn't doing the nasally sound that he's known for, he can really sing. And he does such a soft vocal delivery that it really goes hand in hand with the way Brian's singing as well. And overall, it's an incredible track. Track number four, Lil Honda, is a song not about a big motorcycle, just a groovy little motorbike. And I love the classic go opening. As well as the overall guitar tone for this song. It really sounds like a motorbike engine running. And I think that really helps make this song stand out and really sort of, get you in the mood to, ride a motorbike. Track number 5 is Will Run Away. And this song is about young love and about wanting to carry on with that love, even if all the older people around you are telling you that it's not going to last. You're just going to go ahead and do it anyway. Especially considering that those older people telling you not to do it, they did the exact same thing when they were younger as well. So it's like, why not just go ahead and do it? And it's one of Brian's best vocals on the album, as well as super solid background vocals from the rest of the guys. Side 1 ends with Carl's Big Chance, the only instrumental piece on the album, and it's okay. I mean, I can listen to it. Carl plays some really nice licks with that classic surf guitar tone of his. But it's really just more of a jam than anything else. It's not terrible by any means. It's just not my favorite. Side 2 opens up with Wendy, and after starting up with this sort of slow, ominous build, it then flourishes into this incredible arrangement with really sparkly sounding guitars and loud drums. And it has even more incredible vocal harmonies from all the guys. Mike sounds really soft on his delivery, but not too soft. And it's a song about ultimately getting dumped and how you can't believe it happened, how you never thought it could happen, but here it is, and it's happening right in front of you. And it's really a sad song when you take the music away from it and the overall sort of happy tone that it has. Track number 8 is Do You Remember? It's a song about looking back on the history of rock and roll and really feeling nostalgic for those early 50 days of the birth of rock and roll. Even though back in 1964, that was only like 8 years ago. So it's not, I feel like this song would have been more fitting for them if maybe they did it in the 70s or even the 80s, if that would even be possible. But it has a really nice sound to it either way. They do some nice callbacks to Little Richard and Elvis Presley and so on. And it's really nice. It's nice for them to appreciate the music that inspired them. Track number 9, Girls on the Beach, is one of the best songs I think they ever did. It has absolutely incredible vocal harmonies throughout the whole thing. And what really makes this song stand out to me are two things. One being the chords. The amount of chord changes in this song, it baffles me every time I listen to it, how Brian managed to fit and experiment with so many chords in just a 2-minute 30-second song. I don't know if that's how long the song is, I just don't remember. But either way, you listen to it and it's like, oh my god, like how does he fit that many chords in this song? Needless to say, it worked out perfectly, and it really makes the song stand out more than it already does with just the vocals alone. And speaking of vocals, the part where Dennis sings the sun in her hair, the warmth of the air, that's just an incredible vocal moment, even though, in my opinion, I wish he could have sang a little more, but it's still nice what we got either way. And to me, the song feels like Surfer Girl Part 2. It opens up in a very similar way with the vocal arrangement and the instrumental track as a whole. And it's easily one of the best songs on this whole album. Track number 10, Drive-In, is about this relic from the past that I don't think is around anymore. I mean, I haven't seen any drive-ins where I live, but it's a really fun, kind of witty song about the kind of fun you can get into while going to see a movie at the drive-in. And Mike does a Smokey the Bear impression, which, I mean, it's fine. And it's not one of my favorite tracks. It's not a track I don't dislike. I don't dislike really any of the tracks on this album. But after listening to Girls on the Beach beforehand, I'm still kind of hooked on that going into this song. Track number 11, Our Favorite Recording Sessions, is, for most people that know about it, an anomaly. Nobody knows why it's there. I don't know why it's there. It's just funny studio banter between the guys. And I mean, like, I don't dislike it. Not everyone likes it. I don't dislike it. I think it's funny enough. It fits the mood of the album. But why they didn't include this at the beginning as sort of like a warm-up to what you're about to get into, I don't know. I don't know who thought of putting it as the second to last song on the album. It's not even a song. It's just kind of there. With that being said, I wish there was footage of Carl jumping 6 feet into that 2-foot cup, because they had to have done that. And the album ends with Don't Back Down, their goodbye to surfing songs. It opens with just a solid kick drum beat before going into this song about showing the girls how tough you are and how you never back down from the waves. And it really shows that by this point, the Beach Boys, you know, although they could still easily do surf songs and car songs, they were done with it. So overall, this album is just great. It is pure summer fun encapsulated in a 12-track LP. This album does way more than surfing and cars. It elevates what the album is about, and at the time, what the album as a whole could be used for. It truly is one of their first, if not the first, concept album that they did. When this album was released, like I mentioned earlier, I Get Around went on to become their first #1 hit, a huge hit for them that would become a staple in their live shows to this day. And it made people perk their ears up to what they were up to. And it was basically telling everyone, hey, we can do more than the surf songs and the car songs. We can do more than that. And this album, it really shows that they were willing to change and evolve, just like everyone else at that time. This album really put them on the map, so much so that even Paul McCartney and John Lennon were quoted as being obsessed with this album and listening to it and just being fascinated by what Brian was doing with producing this whole thing. I was going to show you guys the vinyl inside, but I really don't want to mess up the cover because I did buy this online. It's an original copy, and it's considerably aged, so I don't want to mess it up any more than it probably already is. But I mean, the colors do look kind of faded a little, and it's not in terrible condition by any means, but it could be in better shape. I don't know if you can see it, the vinyl kind of peeking out from the sides. Top 3 songs on this album, for me, I Get Around, obviously, Hushabye, and Girls on the Beach. With that being said, my name's Johnny Man. This is the Beach Boys All Summer Long. Let me know what you think of this album, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.